Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is the Big Girl Diary. Look, I got a good one for you today. Yesterday, I dropped a video about Illma Gore and her sister. Her sister has sided with Marilyn Manson. However, I get why she did it. Ilma did some dirty stuff to her sister. There are some things that you simply just do not do. She did all this stuff for our for Evan Rachel Wood. Illma Gore just did everything for her in spite of her sister. She threw her sister under the bus for the woman that she loved. However, I want you to call in. I would like to hear from you. Call in, call in, call in. I'll give you some time to come in because we got a good one for you today, and I would love to hear from you. You can come up on video or you can call in. Either way, you have a way. I'm going to put my StreamYard link if you want to. How you doing? Why don't you come on up and we could talk about this stuff that Ilma has gotten herself into? So come on in and I would like to hear from you. Man, oh man, I heard of putting friends before family, but I never heard of throwing your family under the bus for a friend and then have that person implicated, your family member implicated in such a horrible thing. Oh my goodness. I mean, look, I said in the video, who needs friends when you have, who needs enemies when you have people like that? Man, oh man. Now, I was watching Colonel Kurtz. Oh, she did a fabulous job. A fabulous job. And the lawyer that she had on there broke down a lot of things that made a lot of sense. I can't believe it is beyond me how what I learned from there that Evan just here take my thumb drive and it has my book in there, and that right there's my evidence. Backed nothing up at all. Here's my book, Phoenix Rising. That is my evidence. That's everything that happened. And take that. That's my word. Take that. No evidence whatsoever. What what la la land is she living in? It doesn't make any sense. Now, Ilma's sister Brighton has to defend herself, and she is just so lucky that she managed. Maybe that twin stuff kicked in. Say, wait a minute, Ilma, she was a little bit extra. Let me look at that iPad. What's in that iPad? I gotta see what's in that iPad because she stole my identity. She wouldn't do that. Worse. OMG, OMG. Just something. However, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. You want to come on up, Jessica? Come on up. You can call in. That's a 202 number. Um, Call in and we could talk. Give me your thoughts on it. Or if not, you can come up on StreamYard and come up and give your thoughts. But this whole situation, and you know, what really gets me about this, the one person that I'm truly pissed with beyond belief is what's her name? Magrone, the woman who was on Charm. I can't think of her first name right now. She knew that Marilyn Manson was not that person, but she chose a movement over what was right. That is dangerous. I can't believe she did that. She chose a movement. Marilyn Manson is not this person who Evan is saying that he is, not looking at the fact that he got married. Now look, Evan tried to marry this man twice. Whatever it was, whatever the reason why they didn't get married, whatever that reason was, don't know. It's between Marilyn, Evan, and the door. Marilyn, Evan, and the door is the only two people in the object that knows why they didn't get married. But when he marries his wife, Linda, all Cain breaks loose. It all falls apart. She just loses it. Now, I believe Marilyn Manson got married on December, I think, 30th. And then Evan decides to file a police report of harassment of his soon-to-be wife, that she's blackmailing her over some wild pictures. If it's anything, oh my goodness. That reminds me. Let me backtrack a little bit. Whew. That woman done so much. She has done so much. Okay. Marilyn marries his wife. Evan goes to the police and says that his wife is blackmailing her over some pictures. Then when I show the picture, it is of her in like a Hitler outfit with a little mustache and all that stuff. And he's dressed in a pink, whatever it is. Come on, call in. Whatever it is, if it's anything, he needs to be embarrassed by that. But keep in mind, Evan said that her mother was a converted Jew. All right, here we go. I'm going low tech. How are you, Jessica?
Yes.
How are you?
I am great. How are you?
Fabulous. Can anybody in chat here please type yes? So what's on your mind?
Well, I was one that younger. I came from a really weird family. They were very religious and a bunch of different, very judgmental, homophobic, and I wasn't the same. So Marilyn Manson, my grandmother just was not, like, she was so against him and had all this stuff to say about him. So I didn't know too much. I'd listened to some of his music, but I'd never gotten too much into it. I've been doing a lot of research into all of this, and between what Evan Rachel Wood saying and everybody else, and to Marilyn Manson, who is actually a very well-spoken, educated, soft person, and every single person who has talked about him from his past has all said the same thing. Like, he was so nice, he's educated, and there's nothing, like, his exes are all, just like with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yep.
Like, no, like, that's not him.
It is, okay, number one, I'm not a Marilyn Manson fan. So when I walked into it, I'm like, well, look at his public persona. I mean, he creeps me out. He scares me.
Yeah.
And then as I did additional research, and then as Evan started putting more out there, I'm like, oh no. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
When I first heard about it, I kind of assumed that it was probably true because of the persona that he's built for himself. So when I started doing the research, I went in thinking that, he's probably guilty. And then within like 3 hours of just going through everything, I realized I don't think he's guilty. I actually think he's the complete victim of this entire thing. They used his persona against him.
Yep.
For what they wanted. It's just like Amber Heard did with Johnny Depp. I feel like this whole thing was planned. Yeah. I feel like it's planned because she's scorned because he wouldn't marry her and then he got married.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, you've been with. Okay, let me try not to get upset. Look, She got with Marilyn when she was 18. She got in between him and his wife, Dita. I think her name is Dita or Dita.
I think it's pronounced Dita.
Dita. Okay. So she gets in between, breaks the marriage up. Now, it was already on the rocks, but she added extra. Now, between that time and 14 years within, mostly on then off, all of a sudden, all these things, all these horrible things. I'm like, wait a minute. You left the man and you said that he graped you. I can't say the real word. He graped you. He abused you, but you went back to him? Really?
I just think it's kind of coincidental that there was never really that much of an issue until he got married.
Bingo.
And then when her own brother, her son's father, everybody is like, no, and not on her side.
Mm-hmm. Her brother said something interesting, and I said it in a couple of videos. He said, my sister has a hard time distinguishing between what is real and fake. And I believe she's been an actress ever since she was little. I'm not sure.
The first movie I know that she played in was a movie called 13. And I actually was a huge fan of her because that movie came out when I was a teenager and I related to it a lot. And it's about a troubled girl who gets in with the wrong crew and starts doing drugs and having sex and completely loses herself.
Wow, okay.
And that's the first movie I saw her in. And she was a teenager during that movie. Mm-hmm. But then, and then her saying that Manson groomed her, I just don't understand how that was possible when, she had dated older men before. And not to mention she's 18. She's an adult.
Whoa, wait. Back up. Say that one more time. Whoa. She dated older men?
Yeah, I was under the influence that she dated Edward Norton.
Get out of here.
I'm not 100% sure, but I was pretty sure, that they had a thing, is what I'm understanding.
Wow. Okay, I'm totally blown away because you're giving me information because I'm still learning about Marilyn Manson. And wow. I can't believe Edward Norton would date a young... I can't even imagine how... Oh my goodness.
I'm not 100% sure on it, but that's what's been reported in several different places that I've seen. And he has publicly defended her.
Well, there might be something to it.
Yeah.
There might be something to it. That right there is just mind-boggling. Oh my God. Now, what do you think about Illma and her sister Brighton and what Illma did to her sister for Evan?
I cannot believe that. Like, I come from not the greatest family, so I can kind of relate, but that's just, she stole her whole identity and got her in this whole mess. Like, I feel like that should be, have some charges on it, because that's just crazy. She took her whole sister's identity and was running with it with these lies and everything.
It's wild because, not to interrupt, because I read in magazines that Illma done this before, and her sister had to go to court, get a stay away order, file charges against her because she stole her identity. But now this on a whole new level.
Yeah, because she and then luckily her sister Brighton, wrote that for the court, saying that she saw the fake letter and what Evan said to her about it. That was just. They're putting a fake FBI letter, like that should be the biggest red flag. Like
that's some federal stuff. No. But but what got me about Brighton was, I'm like, you see your sister doing that, and Illma says, "Oh, she's my friend. I can do that," and having a conversation so openly with Evan. I don't know. I think that Brighton was most definitely a victim of it, but she has to know how her sister moves. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hey, with a sister like that, you don't need enemies.
Exactly.
She's your enemy.
No, not at all.
Wow.
I'm really curious to see how all of this plays out with everything that's already out, and we're just a few months in.
Oh yeah. So I have a lot of information, and I'm bringing it out little by little because I have to find out the legality of it. So I'm just doing a little bit. I don't need because another YouTuber, she had the FBI knocking at her door, and and on my other channel, my mother swears that the FBI is going to knock at the door, for all the stuff I put out there. I get into the government and world governments, and she's like, they're going to knock on the door, and they're going to come and arrest you. Now, my mother's aide swears up and down that the fat girls are going to beat me up. Now the skinny girls are going to beat me up. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm so silly. Back to more important things. Marilyn Manson and all this crazy stuff. OMG. Illma is, I haven't even gone through the entire document that I have and just the stuff that I have, and I want to thank a person, but I haven't had permission. So I'm just going to say thank you. You didn't give me permission. You ought to give me permission so I can shout you out. But this is wild.
Yeah, it's like the picture of her though with the Hitler mustache and her trying to say something about that. But there's a video of her backstage doing the Nazi salute.
Yes. Now, who was that? You? No, I think I have to look back.
It was me.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. I'm trying to find a way to put it up so I can do another video showing that. Now, what pisses me off about Evan is it. Yeah, I can say pisses me off. Yeah. About her is that she's a converted Jew.
Yeah, and that's what she's using
and then
as like leverage.
How dare she? How dare she do something like that to become a converted Jew, knowing what happened to them, and then she does that dirty stuff? I hope a rabbi kicks her out.
It's completely disrespectful.
Oh yeah, I hope.
It's crazy that these girls, they think that they can do all this stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, he made me do it," or "I was under the influence and I didn't know what I was doing."
That right there is what. Oh my goodness. Whoa, I'm trying not to get upset.
If one of us said that, if we were doing something wrong and the cops came, we're like, "Oh, well, we didn't know," and it's not like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, they didn't know, it's fine." It's crazy.
I hope rabbis kick her out. I hope the Jewish community come around and shun her, because that right there is beyond disrespectful. It's taking their plight, everything what they've been through, and then laughing at it while she's like, "Oh, I'm a Jew and I'm going to do." Well, I don't want to do that, but
Yeah.
But I'm just like, oh my goodness, that's awful. And then dress up as that as well. I would never see. I know that oh goodness gracious, I'm starting to get mad and tongue-tied. I can't believe that she would dress up in that uniform and smile as if it is okay. And no one called her out on it.
Nobody called her out on it. And it's really funny because I actually came across that picture like 2 weeks ago, and I was showing my husband, and I was like, how is this okay? How has this never been brought up? Like, she's in a full Nazi costume wearing a Hitler stash.
Yes.
And it was just, and then like 3 days later, other people started posting about it. And so I was like, oh, okay. But it was just crazy to me that it had never been brought up before. But I also think it's funny she's trying to hide it. I think it was her costume, and now she's just trying, the photo surfaced, and so she's just grasping at straws trying to get out of it.
Yeah, no, she needs to be taken to the woodshed. And I hope rabbis from the Jewish community come out and denounce her. And I hope the community at large denounces her. And not only that, punishes her.
Exactly.
She needs to be punished severely.
I think anybody who gives false accusations, and if they're proven false, I think that person should be convicted of what they were trying to get the other person convicted of.
What is so bad about perjury? I mean, look, well, no, she hasn't been in court yet, but I know let me stop that because I don't want to slander her. because she's going to mess around and sue me. And then what she's going to get in a settlement is my mother.
We do know that the letter, though, that is perjury.
Not only perjury. Yeah, you're right. No, because she has to get up and go to court and swear, and then actually say those things by being cross-examined. So she has to go through court to do it.
Doesn't that count since she did file it, though? Because she did file that letter with the court.
Yeah, she filed it, but it hasn't gone through court. She hasn't raised her hand. So that's not perjury as far as my 2 cent worth of law. I'm not a lawyer. I know nothing, just but the little bit that I know.
I wasn't sure about that, so.
No.
So she's setting herself up for it.
Oh, this is going to be nice. I know Marilyn's like, come on, stupid. Come on, stupid.
Yeah, definitely.
Look, in one of my videos, I said Marilyn is not a pushover. He comes from Ohio. Ohio, oh my God, you hear all that noise?
I do.
Oh man, this happens in every video I do. Come on, take a break on crime. Just take a break. Just give me an hour. But he comes from Ohio. And Ohio are some tough people. Not only are they tough people, but they determine who the president is. Now that wields some kind of power. And I just don't see him being a pushover. He's a nice, gentle guy. He's a gentleman. He knows how to treat a lady. But then again, Evan doesn't know how to act like a lady.
Exactly. And I think that was part of their issue, is because from what I understand, she's got some mental issues. You know, she doesn't, like her brother said, she can't tell facts from fiction. And I've this last week, I watched like 20 Marilyn Manson interviews, and one of them was one of his first ones. I think he still had really long hair and he was really young, and it was him and his whole band on the stage, and they were talking about how bad they are and moshing and different things like that on the show. And he never got angry, and his responses were very, very classy, very wholesome. They made sense. You know, it wasn't all over the place. Wasn't full of a bunch of ums. He never raised his voice, and that's how he's been in every single video I've seen him in. Besides when he's on stage performing, you know, and he's Marilyn Manson. But when he's Brian Warner, he's not this monster that they have tried to portray him to be. Yeah.
Actually, one of my subscribers in a couple of videos ago, he said that, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. He said that he met Marilyn Manson. And he went and spoke to him, and he hung out with him for about 3 hours. Marilyn Manson said, hey, come on, and you can hang out with us. We're doing nothing. They talked, drank beer. And he said, even though that he only spent 3 hours with him, it seemed like that he knew him for a long time. And he said, just by that interaction, I don't believe what's being said, just by that interaction with him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you know, there are some people who can just connect and just know who you are by your soul. They just have that soul connection.
Yeah. And I think Marilyn Manson, you know, he's built this persona for the stage, but then the public doesn't know how to separate, and so they only see what the mainstream puts out, and that's him in his corsets, you know, he's screaming on stage. It's not, you know, what he does with fans or any of the positive things that he does outside of that. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's rough for him because he does have such a bad persona, and they're using that against him very much. Yeah, you are speaking facts and fire. That is so true. And like when I saw Marilyn Manson, I remember back in the 90s and early 2000s when he came out, I'm like, oh, this guy is scaring the crap out of me. And he definitely made a statement. Yeah, he did. And matter of fact, I remember I don't know if I saw this when it came out, but I know that I reviewed it a Phil Donahue show when he appeared on Phil Donahue with all that makeup on, looking scary. And he said that he got his name from Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson. I'm like, okay. Because he said that they were like the two most iconic people of that time, so he took one from each. Yeah. And then that's,
Actually, yeah, he was right. Yeah. Oof. I just was listening to something about not Marilyn Manson. I mean, Charles Manson. Yeah, he was also a musician too. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is some. But
I really hope. What I'm hoping is that they do a live trial like they did for the Hurt and Death. Because I am worried that it won't be looked at properly, like kind of like Johnny's got in the UK. So I'm just hoping that he does get a fair trial because of the persona that he does have. And this whole Me Too movement's just a huge mess.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. But something has to be done about these women lying the way they're lying, and they get away with it.
It's disgusting. So I come from a really, really, really bad DV relationship that I just got out of about 2 years ago, and it was really, 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 really bad. And like I didn't tell many people, and I've talked to some other people that have dealt with the same thing, and like we all.
Hello. Oh no.
Like, don't go forward because this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what. Like all of us are like, no, that's not. That's not. Like you guys aren't victims at all. You guys don't represent us. What you guys are doing isn't a victim thing. What you guys are doing is trying to ruin somebody's life out of vindication. And we, and I said this in I think 2 other videos, that we as women, we have to get our crazy sisters under control. Because this right here, we got to stop them. And I don't even know where to begin. Because this right here is a travesty, because women who do have these assaults done. I remember a friend of mine some years ago, she had an issue with her boyfriend, and when she went to the police and had a stay away order, she asked me to stay with her because she knows I'm just one of those people that just is not going to take any trash. And he came to the house, and I just was like, it's going to happen 2 ways. Either you leave or we're going to be out here tussling. So he left. And then he came back again. And then her ex-boyfriend came and drug him down the stairs and dealt with him the way a man should have dealt with him. Yeah. And I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I'm so grateful that you are so much stronger. I'm so grateful you're so much stronger. I also feel like people like myself and the other ones that are speaking out and that have gone through it, I guess, it might help a little bit because, us saying like, hey, like this has happened to us, so we're not afraid to speak up and put the other girls in check, like, hey, like, we're not going to believe just because they said it. Like men can get hurt too. Oh yeah.
I was most definitely on, I call it Hoochie Patrol. One of my videos, my brother was dating this girl, and he didn't tell me until one day I happened to call up, and then I hear, who's that in the background? He said, my sister. Oh, you're a liar. I know you're cheating. And I'm like, tell her stop being silly. It's me. And one thing I know about women is that women that have that type of insecurity, like the person that we're speaking of, will do anything to destroy. And I took 2 buses. Now I live in DC, and I traveled way into Maryland. I took 2 buses and 2 hours to get there. So, I was angry all the way up there, and I confronted her, and I let her know my brother doesn't lie, and he's not a cheater, and he's talking to me. Do you have any problems whatsoever? And that was it. And my brother was really mad at me, very mad for a while, until he calmed down and realized that I'm protecting him from some unsavory, scrupulous women. And then he apologized and thanked me. But he was mad at me for about 2 years. He was mad because at some point they broke up, and I let her know that my brother is not in this alone. So don't think that you could do whatever. And I know that you're trying to build something.
Well, it's good that he had you there for that support.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, and he was able to see it later. I know sometimes it's hard to do things like that because the other person might not take it how it's supposed to be. But then once they realize, hey, that you were looking out for them, you had their best interest, and what you did ultimately was in favor.
Oh
So
yeah.
we was lucky to have you.
Oh yeah. And my younger brother, he's like, well, a lot of you already know that I have two channels. He's like, Laura, you're gonna act right. You're gonna act like you had some sense. Because I'm short and a spitfire. I'm just like, you're not gonna act in any kind of way around my brother. No, not my brothers, nope. And not any men, period, because we really have to start protecting men from women like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I am just so glad you called. I am so glad. Hola, Brazil. How you doing, Brazil?
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Call up any time. I really appreciate your insights. I really appreciate what you gave to all of us. I
Well, I
appreciate
can
that.
keep doing what I'm doing, and then when you decide to do another live, if you want to just let me know.
Oh, one thing I'm trying to learn is how to let you all know when I do live stream. I'm still trying to learn this stuff. I'm just like,
well, I do have it, so I get notified whenever you post a video or anything goes up. So I mean, I can just do it that way too.
all righty, okay, okay. Well, thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Okay.
You have a wonderful day. Until next time.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. Thank you, Jessica. I really appreciate you. Now, anybody else want to call up? Oh, let me turn that up some. Okay, I'm struggle streaming over here. Struggle streaming. All right. Yeah, now this stuff is really, really serious that, what's going on. Now, Marilyn Manson, I gotta say, he is fighting back and oh, Evan. Oh, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. You have to prove all of those lies. You got to prove everything. You got to prove it. Now, what I find interesting about Illma is she did all of this. She threw her sister under the bus for Evan. She put all that out there and blamed it on her sister for Evan. Oh, that is awful. Family like that, who needs enemies? All right, how you doing, Brazil? How you doing, Fernandinha? Gordo. Oh, Goldo? How you doing, not Frankie? All righty. How are we doing? How are we doing? Jessica, I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. Would anybody else like to come up on video or call in? And please, what are your thoughts about the Marilyn Manson, Evan, Rachel Wood, and the Illma Gore or Ashley Gore, aka Illma Gore? Now I saw that Illma, she is something. She did this portrait about Donald Trump and called it micro penis. That's hysterical. She is terrible. So yeah, I haven't finished what's her name? Brighton's docket, but there is more in there that I'm going to bring out. I just was just too overcome by that wildness. There's more to come. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. All righty. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm not going to be on here too long because I got some things that I have to do. I know that you heard my phone going off in the background, and I have some things I have to attend to. But I did want to go ahead and do the live stream. Not Frankie. I don't know what that means. Oh goodness! I wish I knew what it meant. So, does anybody else want to call up or to Oh, oh, what I wanted to say. Oh my goodness. On Johnny Depp, I heard two lawyers, they were talking, and Amber Heard went to go in and file a motion to amend. And one of the attorneys said that in Virginia, she would have to pay the whole bond or pay what she owes, and then she can go on to see if she can get things overturned. But Johnny is like, oh no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm going to appeal also, because if he didn't, then he would have a certain amount of time. This is something. This is totally wild. But however, I am going to go ahead and I'm sorry to leave so early, but I do got to attend to some things. I want to thank you all. Oh my goodness, I cannot thank you all enough. Please like, subscribe. I'm almost to 1,000, and I do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And Jessica, thank you for calling in. Thank you so much. On that note, I want to see you later. Bye-bye.